Welcome to the 2023 dog sweater knit along using a KH230. We have 3 colors of yarn that have inspired this sweater. Alright, so I was looking at the last few pages of the KR230 manual. And it's telling us how to increase, how to decrease, and how to bind off. And how to shape a neckline. Showing that in samples, well, you've all seen me do that on the other videos. So instead of going into making a sample, I thought we'd just dive into a knit along. So we are going to remake a dog sweater in large using our ribber. In my pattern, we will have increases, decreases, a V-shaped neckline, we will do a collar, and we will do some ribbing after we knit the entire piece. So we will be practicing all of these methods. We'll be increasing singles, increasing multiples, decreasing singles, decreasing multiples, and we will, of course, shape a neckline. Even though it's a V-neck, the process is the same. Only there won't be the little center line decreases to do. Because we will start on one side and then move to the other side, moving the stitches from the ribber to the main to the ribber, as we need to shape the sides of the sweater. And yeah, it's going to be an actual sweater. I'm going to use a V-neck sweater pattern to make a dog sweater. Because I don't know about you, but my dog isn't a tube. My dog is, well, a dog with a head, feet, legs, and a chest that do not make a straight line. She is, well, a dog. We will also need to do a nice bind off when we go to do the collar. So that's a good time to practice the collar bind off. We're going to start with 2x2 ribbing, but we're not going to start it the way the manual says. We're going to start with an E-wrap, and then we're going to transfer, put up the ribber, and go from there. So we'll get started on that right now. First thing we need to do is to E-wrap 21 left and 21 right. Okay, so now we're going to E-wrap. And the reason why we're E-wrapping is to ensure that if we lose a stitch, we don't actually lose a stitch. And then we have a semi-finished edge going all the way around our project. Could we have started with a ribbing in the other 2 colors? Sure, but I want to do that at the end because it's not something I usually show you guys. Many of you are well aware that I usually do a double E-wrap, but in this case, we're just doing a single. That way, when we do the ribbing, it won't show. All right. For this entire project, we're going to use tension 6. This yarn is a number 5, so it's a bulky. As you can see, I have actually hooked up the black box for my design in it. I don't want to forget any of the increases or decreases, and we're still going to go just as slow as we did before. So that is my cast on row. All right. So now we need to increase 5 stitches at the left. We're going to take our yarn out, take off the sinker plate, put on the ribber, we are not going to put in the little fingers just yet, only because it's going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt. Making sure that I'm back at racking 3, so pitch 3, everything lines up. We're going to do the transfers now before we increase 5. So we're going to leave the center zeros in knit, then we're going to do purl and purl. As soon as we do these transfers, we will be inserting the ribber comb. So while I do the transfers, I'm doing them 2 by 2, 2 up, 2 down, and we'll come back. Okay. So now we need to increase 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now you're probably saying to yourself, I'm just going to start knitting with that, but no, that's not what the rules say. Hang on, I just got to get this thing actually in the carriage. So I still have to do my transfers. So we're transferring. 1, 2. Now we're going to leave these last 3. Actually, no, we're not going to leave the last 3. These 2 are okay. This one needs to go underneath. Okay, now we're going to put in the ribber comb. I am going to mark this 0 so that I can see it. Going up through the beds. Actually, we can lower this. Okay, not a big deal. We come up through the beds. You can see where our little black mark is. Coming up on the ribber. Okay. Pushing it. We are now connected. 2 larger rubber weights. Now remember, we cannot use the ribber with any stitches that are in D or E. They will not knit off. So make sure that when your ribber needles are up, they're not in anything other than B, unless you want them in to hold. Taking a deep breath, we're now going to knit row 2. We're in tension 6, both beds, knitting across. I'm just going to open those latches. It's not happy. Now, we're going to make sure that these knit. So we're going to go back here. We're going to knit them off. This was expected. Not a biggie. This won't happen every time, just for the first few rows. We also need to increase another 5 stitches. We will need our 7 weights. Okay, now we need to increase. So increasing 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice and loose. Of course. Try not to tangle it on the gate peg. Okay, transferring these ones. Make sure you don't have any of your uppers in the wrong position. All right, now we get to use our 7 weight. So 7 weight goes in behind. And on. Okay, what we can do, because we don't have the fingers in yet, we can move these all forward. And then they will knit off. So let's do row number 3. Row number 3, we are increasing another 5 stitches on this side. So let's increase. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Transfer. 1. These two stay up. And these ones come down. But I'm going to leave that one up this time so I can get the 7 weight in there. And I'm going to move all of these ones forward again. Just so that they knit off. I see that these two here did not knit, so I'm just going to manually knit them as well. Not a biggie. Try not to get that tangled. Okay. Move that 7 weight up. Make sure it's actually doing its job. Next 7 weight on. Taking a deep breath, we're going to knit row 4. Okay, this one didn't knit again. We're just going to manually knit it again. Make sure you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Oh, you can, just not on that side. Okay. So I've manually knit off number 30. Checking all of these are knit. No problem here. Increasing another 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We will need to move the 7 weight over. Not a biggie. Those stay up. This one can come down. Now, if you're lucky and you have an extra 7 weight, just add an extra 7 weight, which is what I'm going to do. So I have a third 7 weight. Comes in. Weighs these down. Second one. Weighs them down. This one, we're going to move it as well. We're going to keep moving these 7 weights until everything is good and golden. Phew! On to part 2.